Go to your butcher's and ask him for chuck steak. It's got incredible flavour.
It's the classic meat for a classic burger.
Divide it into 4. So that's 800 grams here, that's 200-gram patties. You want to make your patties just a bit bigger than the bun because you will get some shrinkage.
I'm making 2 pickles with a few crinkle-cut gherkins and a little bit of chilli, plus a second with finely sliced red onion, white wine vinegar and a pinch of salt.
I'm going to do a bit of a J. Sal's.
Okay.
2 heaped tablespoons of mayo, 1 tablespoon of ketchup. Worcestershire sauce, important, a little swig or 2. Tabasco,
Oh, I love this
the
stuff.
chipotle rocks. And then a little tinkle of bourbon, okay? And just a tiny dribble of your onion vinegar, iceberg. When it kind of gets dressed in that, it's kind of like half soft, half crunchy.
I'm nicking this, dude. This is a really good recipe.
You happy about this?
Yeah, really good. Let's get grilling.
Pat the burgers with oil, then season with salt and pepper.
You can see already like the fat starting to cinder off, hit the coals, and that sort of pelting smoke back up and kissing the meat. This is what barbecue's all about.
Yeah, it is.
Whether it's charcoal or wood. Go and get the American-style mustard, and we go get a paintbrush, sear one side of the burger, and then we turn it. And then that seared side, we brush, and then we sear the mustard seared side, and then we brush the other side. So we do 2 normal cooks, and then 2 mustard cooks. This is gonna create a lovely, kind of hummy, gorgeous mustard bark. It's smoked bacon. When the fat's doing that, and you just know you're caramelizing and creating flavor. Cheese, 2 nice slices. I'm using red Leicester.
I dubbed the king of the grill.
Use any cheese you fancy, as long as it's a good, tasty melter.
And now,
Oh, it's like a,
we put the dome over.
yeah.
Okay, so that's turning into an oven. And it's just gonna let that cheese melt, just sag.
It's already starting to do its magic,
See,
man.
it's starting to do its magic, and I'm just gonna pop the bacon on top. In that pan is amazing smoky bacon fat.
You're not going there with the
I am.
rolls, are you?
I am. This is a brioche bun to sort of suck up all the juices that rest out of the burger.
Now for that special moment, the build.
Bacon just sends it off. Oh, wow.
It's so good. It's all right to eat messy, yeah?
You're supposed to eat messy.
You don't want to have a polite burger.
No.
That was boring.
What are you, a wuss?
I'm gonna create some food now for us that is full of sunshine, full of flavor. I'm gonna cook the most delicious chicken burger. Spiced with jerk seasoning. We're gonna do amazing caramelized pineapple, a lovely slaw. So it all starts here with the chicken. I've got a lovely free-range chicken breast, nice and plump, and we're gonna marinate it up. So get your chicken breast on a board, go to the middle of that breast, and gently cut that chicken breast in half. It's gonna cook more evenly and faster. Now, at this point, I can just stab in to the chicken breast like this. That'll help the flavor get into the chicken. Salt and pepper, as usual. I'm gonna go a little kiss of olive oil, like that. And then let's have a look at this jerk seasoning. I love it, I absolutely love it. It's a brilliant blend of allspice, salt, chili, black pepper, cumin, thyme, paprika, bay leaves, turmeric. It's an incredible list of amazing spices. And jerk traditionally comes from Jamaica, but of course used across the Caribbean. I'm gonna be fairly generous, a little teaspoon or 2, and then just rub that all over the chicken and massage it in. Those spices I think are absolutely fantastic. And I think like traditionally they'd use that on chicken, goat, you know, fish. And you know, it's a wonderful spice combination. And look at that, we've encrusted it. It's gonna be amazing. So let that sit for a little bit. I'll get rid of this knife and board, wash my hands. Okay, the chicken is marinating. It's only a thin slice, so you can get away with marinating it nice and quick. If you wanted to do it overnight, you can, just don't put salt on the chicken, okay? Now, look, let's just talk about the buns. For me, the story is a soft and spongy bun, right? Wrapped around that really gnarly, gorgeous chicken. So we need to riff off of that. So in my head, when I'm coming up with this, I'm thinking, how can we use the flavor of the Scotch bonnet, because this is one of my favorite things in the world, but control the heat. So let me show you how I do it. Take a sharp knife and slice up that Scotch bonnet like that into little slices. Now, this is very hot, so you might want to put gloves on. I'm fine not doing it. You've got to be careful with chilies, because if you touch your eyes or anything, it can be really painful. Notice I'm using the knife, not my hands. Now, you can see the seeds starting there. The seeds and the white membrane, either side, that's where the aggressive heat is. So simply remove the stalk, the seeds, and the little bits of white membrane, just like that. And then slice up the rest of the Scotch bonnet by thinly slicing it so it's delicate. Of course, then whatever you get on your palate will be less of it, so that's kind of controlling the heat by size. Then there's other things you can do. You can take a sieve here and you can give it a wash, right? And I do it in the sink normally, just gonna put some jug of water like this. But even when you're doing this, the smell of it can catch you out, so don't put your nose right above it. So you give these a little wash, like that. Then there's even more things you can do to control that heat. What I want to do is pickle this. I'm going to put vinegar in here, white wine or red wine vinegar, just a couple of tablespoons just to cover it. I'll season it with salt. And then, last but not least, there's a really good little kicker here. Part of this beautiful burger is a piece of pineapple. And I love using the tinned pineapple. That's going to be amazing in this burger. But also what's really good is in these tins, you've got the natural juice. So we'll steal that. Imagine the sweetness there, pulling away the heat from that chili. It's an amazing little pickle and a great little tip. So this will happily sit there like that. And I would use this to bring to life any slaw, to put on any kind of grilled meat, especially in a little bun. It's amazing with rice. You can use this also just as a little kicker on a lovely little chili con carne or a stew that needs a bit of life. So chicken, bun, and the lovely Scotch bonnet pickle ready to go. Let's make a very fast little slaw. So I'm gonna take some carrot and just grate it on the coarse side of a box grater. Of course, you can use any crunchy veg you can get your hands on. So it could be radishes, it could be cucumber, it could be a little bit of red cabbage. Fill your boots, do what you want. I've got some white cabbage here and give it a little grate. Try and do quite nice long strokes. So I only need enough for me and Buds. So instead of using mayonnaise, I want to go more tangy, fresher, and way more healthy. So I like to use a nice natural yogurt. It's about 90% less fat than mayonnaise. And I'll just season that up with a little salt and pepper again. And there we have the most delicious, simple slaw. And what I love to do for seasoning and a little bit of a slap, bring it to life, is steal a little bit of this liquor from the chilies. So actually, before I do it, I'm gonna have a little taste. Always good to know what you're doing. The flavor is so amazing. It already tastes like peaches and apricots, and it's really floral. And with the pineapple juice, it's just getting better and better. That will ramp up this slaw really, really nicely. And there you go. Everything's ready and raring to go. Hello, big boy.
Hello.
You all right?
Yeah.
Hungry?
Yeah.
I'm doing a nice little chicken burger. Have you ever had Scotch bonnet chili?
No. Do I have to have the Scotch bonnet chili?
You don't have to have it, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to train you. Right, let's get cooking. Here, I've got the barbecue lit, but you could do this in a pan, in the house, easy peasy. You can see I've got a high pile of coals here, so that's your hot side, and then almost nothing there, so that's your cooler part. So we've got control. I want to cook the chicken hard and fast, so it's gnarly on the outside and juicy on the inside, and I want to get that pineapple caramelizing. In actual fact, I'll have 2 more slices. So I'm going to go onto the cooler side with the pineapple, and then with the chicken, and on we go. Beautiful. Probably a couple of minutes on each side if it's nice and hot. If I'm cooking this in the house, I just have a big non-stick pan on full whack. So what's pretty cool about the chicken is we've already cut it in half, so it'll cook twice as fast. It will also have more of the seasoning on it, so you're gonna get double bang for your buck. Let's turn it over. Yes! Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the dancing fat. And then with the pineapple, hopefully we'll get some nice caramelization there as well. So look, the chicken's coming off now, and I don't want to overcook that, so just put that onto a plate, and we'll let that rest as you do. Get these beautiful pineapples with the chicken, get these buns toasted up, then we're ready to rock and roll. So let's build these burgers. They are a thing of joy. So we have Our slaw on the bottom. That is good for catching all the juices from the chicken. Get that on there. Then I'll go on with a piece of pineapple. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Then let's get that amazing chicken. I like to slice it at an angle. So let's just do it into 2 or 3. And look at that. Oh, yes. Can you see the juiciness? So not overcooked, gnarly outside, and really fresh, clean inside. Look at that. So we'll start racking this up. Resting juices I'll put on top of the burger. They make a massive difference, look at that. For Buddy, I'm just gonna put 3 Scotch bonnets over, like that. What I will do is take a little bit of that juice and just kiss it with that, because it's gonna be amazing. I'll be a little bit more aggressive with the Scotch bonnet. I'll have a little wodge like that, and then bun on top. Come on, man. You know that's gonna be a mouthful of heaven. Come on then, my best mate. Here you go. A small introduction into the wonderful world of, no, not chili, Scotch bonnet. That's a different level. I think it's my favourite chili in the whole wide world.
Really?
Yeah. Have a try though. Tell me what you think of the chicken. It's gonna be a messy affair, that's for sure. Wow. The pineapple and the chicken's just so good. What do you reckon, buds?
It's good. I love the chicken.
Can you taste the chili?
Yeah. It's still a bit hot, but it's really nice.
Really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is the perfect end to a great little dish. Amazing flavours. And me and Buds in our quiet little spot, taking it all in. Happy days. I'm gonna make a beautiful burger, a little handheld burger, a thing of joy. And look, mincemeat is an everyday thing that most of us have a lot of the time. And the question is, how can we do something different? How can we tweak the everyday to make it sublime and exciting? I've been playing around with sweet potatoes. I love them. Super nutritious vegetable, and you can do so many things with it. And I'm gonna do 2 things with it. I'm gonna slice it up and grill it on the barbecue. It's gonna be caramelized, it's gonna be sweet and unctuous. It's gonna be so good with this patty. And that little bit at the end, I'm gonna finally grate it with the cabbage and make an amazing coleslaw. And you can actually eat sweet potato raw. It's delicious. So, my friends, let's just do it. Me and Buds are gonna have this. It's gonna be a joy, and it's gonna be super fast. First of all, I'm gonna finely slice it about ½ centimetre thick into little slices, and we're gonna grill that. And by the way, whether you wanna grill it on a barbecue or do it in a dry pan, a frying pan, it's fine, right? It works inside and out, so it's a really flexible recipe. So I'm just gonna lay these on the barbecue. When you barbecue sweet potato, it goes so nutty and delicious. So that's a nice start. Then with this half of the sweet potato, what we can do is get a standard old box grater and turn this into a slaw. So we all know the standard slaw, right? White cabbage, onion, and carrot. But this time we're gonna use sweet potato, which is really, really tasty. Then I'll go to the coarse side here and just grate about 1/4 of a white cabbage. And then we're gonna dress that, not with mayonnaise, but actually with vinegar and olive oil. But of course, if you want mayonnaise, you can do what you like. This is also an opportunity to get any crunchy vegetable in there, beetroots, radishes, whatever takes your fancy. So what we need is some salt and pepper, a nice little teaspoon of whole grain mustard, and then a swig of nice white or red wine vinegar, and some olive oil. Easy peasy. If you want to lace that with some chopped up mint, parsley, basil, it'll be absolutely delicious. Mix it up really well, have a little taste. Really fresh, crunchy, and it's got that nice zing. And that's got the kind of pickle vibe going on. So let me wash my hands. If you have a look at those sweet potato there, they're just grilling nicely. When they're charred like that, that is really good news. One of the things I love to do is just dry grill on a barbecue. Any veg actually, fennel, courgettes, peppers, but especially sweet potatoes. You can see how You know, even with no oil on it, it's not sticking. It's just charring and singeing, and the natural sugars are developing, and you're going to get the most amazing flavour that way. If you start putting oil on this now, it'll be flaming, it'll be burning, and it won't be nice. I'll keep an eye on that. Now let's get on the burgers. So it's good quality minced beef. Of course, you can use different meats. Just take your mince and just work it on a plate like that. Now this is very, very important. Do it, of course, with clean hands. You'll sort of develop the protein so it really sticks together nicely. A lot of people buy pre-made burgers, which is fine. Nothing wrong with it at all, very convenient. If you get your own mincemeat, you know much more about what's in it. And if you work it like this, you're going to be able to form an incredible patty burger. Divide it into 2 equal-sized patties, about 120 grams each. Push it out to a little bit bigger than the size of your bun, because it's going to shrink a little bit, about 1.5 centimetres thick. You can see it's not perfect. Rough and ready, a bit broken around the edges, it's fine. It's all good. And they're just going to cook so quickly and be a joy to eat. So rub it with olive oil. We'll season it with salt and pepper. We're going to kind of treat this, you know, almost like a steak. We're going to season on the outside only, and we'll get that straight on the barbecue. So about 3 minutes on each side until golden and delicious. So look, let me just get rid of that. Have a little clean down. Okay, so burgers cooking. A nice little tip that's always good to have on the barbecue is control, right? By having most of the coals at one side, almost like a kind of hill, I'm able to kind of rotate meats or veggies from high, medium to low. And these lovely sweet potatoes now, they're sitting on the low side. They're actually done. And look at these. Super nutty and charred, soft, all caramelizing around the edge. And these little kind of blistered black bits here, that's all smokiness and char. It's gonna be amazing. Kiss it with a little olive oil and a little seasoning, and that makes all the difference. You can see how shiny they are now, and they're nice and bendy. You can squeeze them a little bit. They're gonna be really, really tasty. I'm gonna turn the burgers now. Look at that, nice color. Beautiful. Okay, a couple of lettuce leaves to make a lovely little burger. If you want to dress that with some, you know, a little swig of vinegar or some lemon juice, you can, no trouble at all. I've got some nice little brioche buns. They're super cool. I'm gonna pretty much be there any minute now, my little boy buds. Hope you're hungry, mate. So this is me and Buddy's dinner tonight, and it's just us two. The girls are out. You excited for a burger, my friend?
Yeah.
So this is sweet potatoes. Got some coleslaw. Do you know what that is?
No.
That's cottage cheese. Have you ever had that? Right, you're gonna find out today. That is still juicy. Look at that, buds. You can see the juices coming out of it. And what I want to do now for the last couple of minutes is get some barbecue sauce in there, glaze it so it's really shiny and sticky and gorgeous. Buzz, do you just want to brush that gently over the top, right around the edge as well? So look, the thing here is these ingredients are all really standard, right? You know, we've taken the mince, we made our patties, barbecue sauce, nothing really new there. But I think the way we're putting it together, the layers of flavour, you know, charring up the sweet potato like that and using it in the slaw, pretty cool.
Mini chopping boards.
They're little ones. So you can eat off that, actually. So because Mum's here, we don't have to sit at a table, we don't have to use knife and fork.
You were the one that told me I had to use knife and fork.
Yeah, but not today, because we're eating a burger. Look at that, they're ready. So let's make your one, buddy. Let's do it. We'll take a little bit of slaw, sweet
Where are the
potatoes.
pickles? I like slaw.
You like slaw? Good man. Right, should we serve up your burger?
Yeah.
Over we go. I'm gonna slip a little bit of lettuce in there.
Very big burger.
Nice little load of cottage cheese there. Then your bun. That, my friend. Do you think that can get in your mouth? That's quite big.
If I squeeze it.
Come on then, have a go. Do you want me to cut it in half for you?
No, that'd
Oh.
be cheating.
That would be cheating. How's something so big and again such a cute little mouth? The squeeze, the squeeze. Oh, you know it's good. Right, go on then, attack.
I can't. It won't fit.
We could share that
But we're
and
not
have the
going
second
to.
one. Come, let's share it. Let's have half each, and then we can have the next. Look, can you see how juicy that burger is? If I squeeze it.
Oh, my own juice fell out.
Let's go.
Mmm.
That is very good. That's the joy of eating outside, isn't it? You can make a mess.
It's hot, but it's delicious.
You
Very
like that?
messy. Yeah. So nice.
Do you reckon that could be a new family favourite?
Well, definitely.
Sweet potatoes with burgers is amazing. Mmm. So juicy. Look at the mess. It's just brilliant.
Woo! I really like the barbecue sauce with it.
Yeah. Sweet potatoes. You happy?
I'm happy.
What I'm going to do now is the most delicious killer pork chops with creamy Spanish beans. So, you got these lovely pork chops here, right? You can see you've got that lovely eye meat, you've got the brown piece here. I personally like that because you get two different flavours, the sort of sticky and sweet, and then the nice sort of leaner meat there. Then you've got the rib meat here. Really, really good. Now, a little tweak on getting some extra flavour going on, right? It's dead simple, it's not chefy. Go into your pork chop, get your knife halfway in, like that. And once it's in, sort of move it around slowly, right? And basically, you're making a little pocket there for flavour. And then get your little finger, just poke it in there, like that, right? And you know it's all good. Okay, once you've done that, what I want to do is make just like a zingy little filling. So I've got a little bit of oregano in pestle and mortar, just literally a couple of sprigs worth, a pinch of salt for seasoning. I've got some of these nice local raisins. Run your knife through them, just to break them up a little bit. And this has got beautiful sweetness. Give it a good old bash. And once you've bashed that up a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit of my sherry, a couple of tablespoons, just to moisten it up a bit, and a tiny bit of olive oil. Right? So I'm going to let that just sort of sit for a moment. The raisins will just suck up that moisture and it'll be just like a kind of paste, right? So bear with me on that. Now, in a pan here, I'm going to fire it up, sort of medium-large heat. See, I've got the bits of fat here from the Pata Negra store. I'll put it in a pan and you see it, it just literally, like a candle, starts to melt. Look at that. Nice. In the store, they had the little offcuts, right, that you can buy, and you can use Parma ham bits for this if you can't get Pata Negra back home. These are the offcuts. I'm going to put these in as well. Mega flavour, and that's the beginning of this bean dish, right? It's dead simple, it takes 10 minutes to do, right? Then I'll cut my onion up, and you see that pan's getting nice and hot now. Bit of olive oil just to help the story. There we go, the onions are softening. I'm going to slice up a nice red pepper, and then in with these little babies. Okay. You know, depending on what herbs you've got, you know, if you want to put a couple of bay leaves in, put a few bay leaves. If you wanted to get a little bit of rosemary, just run your knife roughly through that. It's all good stuff. The nice thing is you can use different ingredients like tomatoes and bits and pieces if you want to. You've got these lovely jarred beans, which are literally an off-the-shelf product. You can get them in tins, in jars, and, you know, just scatter them in. They're great quality. These beans here are called habichuela, but you can use any beans you like, honestly. It works whichever one you do. Look at the colours. So exciting. So I'm going to turn the heat down now. I'm going to add a little cup of water. And this will be lovely and creamy. Just literally just cover the beans, and that's going to be great. Right, so let's get this raisin paste. Let's have a look at it. Right, you can see it's quite pasty. You've got the herb in there, the raisins. Have a taste. Sweetness, sherry, herb, is going to be great. Really, really nice. So just take that little paste here and put it into that pocket that we've made. And just push it in. You don't need much at all to make the whole world a difference. And I don't really want to get it on the outside. I want to keep the outside really plain and simple and normal, and then inside, when you cut into it, juice comes out. Brilliant. So a little bit of pepper on a plate and the pork, a little bit of salt, you want to season it good, a little olive oil on the plate and the pork, and then we're just going to pat it, and then the underside, which hasn't got the salt, just move that around on the plate then, and then you should have a perfect seasoning. And then over to your barbecue. To create a bit of smoke and big up the charcoal cooking, I'm just going to whip off the bars. I've got a few extra bay leaves and herbs and, you know, bits like that. They'll smoke, right? But they'll smoke in a nice way. And that's what barbecuing's about. OK, so the pork chops are on. Let's check the beans. Look at that. See how nice and creamy that's getting. Have a look at that, baby. Obviously, you can do it under the grill, in an oven, in a hot pan with a little oil. But, you know, barbecue's where it's at, really. Let's turn it over again. You know, it's all about building up colour and flavour. Look at that, just dancing on the top. That's the best bit, when that fat starts doing that. These beans are ready now, but just before they're ready, for the last kind of minute of the beans cooking, I'm just going to put this chard in. You don't want to cook the hell out of the flavour, you know, whether it was spinach or chard or things like stinger nettles and stuff like that. When it's good to have that little bit of life going at the last minute to make it just delicious. Look at that. That is just exactly what I'm looking for. Let's plate this baby up. Look at that. When you can toss it like that, you know it's creamy and delicious. Just going to pour that in. Nice little portion goes in like that. And then give it a little shake. Look at that. Whether you're cooking it on a barbecue or in a pan, while it's hot and sizzling, plonk that in the middle. The pork will start to rest in the beans. Right, and then I like to pick some little baby leaves of herbs and just put them in and around the top. Some good Spanish olive oil, and that is the most incredible beans with absolutely kick-ass pork. So good. And like, if you want to see what's happening with this pork, I'll cut into this, and that's what you get. Cut that open, see, you got that flavour in there. So as soon as you put your knife and fork through there, you get lovely normal pork chop, you know, unadulterated. Then in the middle, bang, raisins, fruit, flavour, herb. Let's have a little try. Oh my God. Ridiculous. So good. Totally tender and juicy. No need to have tough old pork. I'm going to give you the most beautiful recipe for skewered prawns. I'm going to wrap them on skewers with smoky bacon. And then in contrast to that, we're going to do a beautiful salad, refreshing, with watermelon, feta, cucumber, herbs. It's a really nice combo, guys. So let's do it. First up, prawns. So what we can do is just take the heads off first. So I'll take all the heads off, like that, really easy. And you can just rattle through it super fast. Then take all the shell off until the very end bit. Lovely. Now, I want to show you how to butterfly them. Get a knife and just run that carefully down the back. Don't put pressure in. And then once you've done that, you can get the knife in and take that little vein out. You have to be a little bit patient, but it's really easy to do. And it allows the marinade to get inside the prawns and make them even more delicious. Now it's time for the marinade. Really simple. Get a little dish, and then I'm going to get a lemon and some garlic. I want to use one of these little fine graters just to get that lovely yellow lemony zest off. I'll cut this in half. So the lemon juice will really flavour the prawns. And then I've got the garlic here. Now what I like to do, just get like 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, skin on, no problem at all. A nice little pinch of salt and a nice little pinch of pepper, and then just give it a nice little bash. And the skins will come off like that. You just get rid of that. Just smash up that garlic to a paste, and then choose a herb. It could be parsley, it could be fennel, it could be mint, whatever you want, basil. Just tear that in there, and we'll smash that in too. So once you've bashed it all up, take it out, put it into the little dish, pour over just a little bit of olive oil. That is a lovely marinade, sort of ready to kiss those prawns. And because we've prepared them with such a lot of love, that's going to get right in to all those little cuts you made. And you can let those marinate for about half an hour, but really just move it around so all that garlic and parsley gets everywhere. Then what I want to do is get myself a nice skewer, and I've got some smoky bacon. Take a little bit of smoked bacon or pancetta, put that on the end of our skewer, then get your prawn, and you can almost put like 2 little bits like that. And then you can put the pancetta back, and then you put the prawn. So like you can just whack it on, that's the truth of it. But I quite like weaving on. The bacon's gonna protect the prawns from the brutal heat of the barbecue. Kind of looks cool as well. Look at that, man. Just make sure it's not too compacted. You want to let everything breathe, not be too squashed in, because that will stop the heat. Let me just have a little wipe down. So look, let me get ahead of the game with the salad. We're going to do a watermelon and feta salad. Let's cut these up. Look at the colour. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to cut the outside off, and then we'll do the next one like that. So once you've got your peeled watermelon, we're just going to do lovely little sort of 1 centimetre, slightly over slices, 1.5 centimetres. I want to simply slice these slices across 1 centimetre and then turn it the other way. Kind of want to make it quite graphic and sort of like little mouth-sized chunks. So we're going to use lemon again. And then into that, some nice cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. To the party, just before we get going, I'll add some finely sliced red chilli. So add as much as you like. And then pick a herb. Anything that you can chew and eat nicely goes in. Just that fresh, fragrant, kind of irony hit is gonna be good. I'm just gonna take half a red onion, and we'll just now mix it in to the rest of the herb leaves. That lovely watermelon goes in. So let's put the skewers on now. These will take about 5 or 6 minutes depending on the heat here. Now, let's get on to the next bit of our salad. I've got these beautiful slices of feta. I'll cut it into little slices. In we go. Look at the colours. And then cucumber. So again, 1 centimetre slice. So now just take a little time and pride in tossing this around. Right, let's go and have a look at these little skewers. Oh, come on. Look at that. You know, you want it to be golden and crisp. When the bacon's crisp, the prawns are done. And we've had 3 minutes on each side. Come on, man. Absolutely beautiful. And I just serve it pretty much like that. On the top, gorgeous. And look, at this point in the story, you just have to grab that and just pull it straight off. So look at that. Let's have a try. Yes, delicious. And then, of course, you got the salad. Full of life. So there you go, guys. Next time you do a barbecue, maybe have a go at this. Hey guys, so you've been asking for more simple chicken recipes in barbecue season. So I've got a recipe here where we're going to look at the rub, we're going to look at the glaze, we're going to look at how to cook it and control the temperature of the barbecue. And here is beautiful, simple barbecue chicken thighs and legs. Right, let's get cooking. Now, I'm here at my London HQ where I do all of my recipe testing in the backyard. So let's get this lit up. I've lit the barbecue about 40 minutes ago, so it's settling nicely. Let's talk about spice rubs. And I kind of want to show you some of these sort of shop-bought rubs, right? You can go to any supermarket in any country and you can get all kinds of things from curry powders, that's a blend, Ras Al Hanout, which is a beautiful kind of North African expression of spices and seeds and nice things. We've got Chinese 5-spice, it could be Thai 7-spice. You know, you've got the beautiful jerk seasoning here. There's loads of stuff that's been done and dusted for you, and it can make it really easy for you. But I just want to kind of put this away because these are very convenient. I've got no issues with it at all. I use them often myself. But just making your own spice rubs, why would you do it? So look, the reason you do it is because you can control the spices. If you like something more, you can push it. If you don't like a certain spice, you can pull it back. You can also have secret ingredients, so you have your own kind of combo that you can be really proud of. But let me kind of get you into the spirit of it. Here, I've got a rub that I use a lot. Right, we've got fennel seeds here, 1 teaspoon. Smoked paprika here, 1 teaspoon. I've got some lovely dried oregano, guess what? 1 teaspoon. I've got some cumin seeds here, 1 teaspoon. Black pepper, 1 teaspoon. And then sea salt, but not ordinary sea salt. This is actually smoked sea salt that you can buy, but you could use any sea salt, 1 teaspoon. In the middle, I've got 2 little cloves, And I find that's a really beautiful, fragrant, layered rub that you can do for many, many flavoured grilled meats that are being slow cooked. Absolutely delicious. So you can add to that, you can add herbs, you can add garlic, little orange or lemon zest, you can add different spices. So fill your boots, use your imagination, use your passion. But what I'm going to do is bring this together. Now you could use a little coffee grinder, no trouble at all. I'm literally going to put this all into my pestle and mortar here, which is the old school way to do it. And what we want to do is use those spices to create a nice little dust, a nice little texture that will stick to your meat. Now obviously we're doing chicken, but it could be pork, lamb, goat, whatever you want to do, no trouble at all. So I'm just going to grind like this first, just to kind of mix it and see what's going on. Just start to grind it like this, then start using little tapping actions just to crush up those fennel seeds. For me, the spice shelf is like one of the best bits of the kitchen. Flavour-wise, nutritionally, it's incredible. You can see how the texture has completely changed. Look at that, really, really nice. So you can go finer if you want, but that, most importantly, will stick to the chicken. What I can do is just rub that onto the chicken, just like that. Very, very nice. Or I want to show you how easy it is to go from a rub, whether it's this stuff here or the homemade stuff here, to a marinade. The only thing you need to do to turn this into a marinade is add two things: olive oil and acid, whether it's lemon or vinegar, okay? And we've immediately gone from a lovely spice rub to a spiced marinade. This is now a marinade, and I'm going to pour this over the chicken, just like that. It smells incredible. And then we just sort of move this around and really get that marinade going in there. One nice little tip that I love to do is take a fork and just kind of make little puncture holes right the way through, all the way to the bone. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is tenderize the meat, flavor the meat, and then when you take a nice big chunk, that flavor goes all the way through to the bone, which is absolutely beautiful. So look, let me go and wash my hands, and then I'll show you how to cook it. So right, let's cook the chicken now. Now, a lot of people get very confused about indirect and direct barbecuing, and also with the lid on or the lid off, right? So let's just take the lid off for a second. Let me show you how I lit this. Now, this is a beautiful Weber kettle barbecue, and let me just show you how I did it. I started the coals on one of those lovely little lighters. They work so efficiently and brilliantly. And then what they've done, which is quite clever actually, is they've got these little baskets here, which means I can do indirect roasting. They're really hot over here, and then here it's not so hot. So when I put the lid back on, this turns into a giant roaster, which is fantastic. So remember, the chicken is actually seasoned, and I'm gonna go skin side down. I'm just gonna rub the bars with some of that fat, and we'll go skin side down. Let's get a little bit of color happening. Thighs on one side, chicken drumsticks on the others. So I'm gonna color, and then I'm gonna shift it into the middle. I'll put the lid on top, and then I'm gonna roast until that meat is tender and the skin is crispy, and it's gonna be delicious. For me, cooking over fire, you know, you wanna have the hot areas, the cool areas, and the next bit I think is fantastic for really getting flavor going. So what I'm gonna do is take the chicken, place it in the middle, and we're gonna go from grilling to roasting by simply finding that indirect area, like that. I'll put lovely chickens in and around it, like that. You've got plenty of space, beautiful. I'm gonna take this little flap here, and what you can do, which is really fun and nice and geeky, is get some fruit woods. This is apple wood. Just soak it in some water, put that on top, and that'll start smoking. So as we're roasting that chicken, we're smoking as well. So that's like the extra seasoning that is really, really good. What's genius about this system is you put the lid on top, right? You see the thermometer go up. I want it to be about 180 degrees Celsius, which is like 350 Fahrenheit. Then I can start closing off the air out and the air in. So control that temperature. That's your job when you're doing it. You're not going to burn it unless the heat gets out of control, but check it. And in 40 minutes, I'll show you what to do next. So the chicken's had 40 minutes. In that time, those beautiful thighs and legs would have tenderized, and we want to get that meat to pull off the bone in the most beautiful way. So let's just take the lid off. Look at that, you can see it sizzling away. bubbling in there. You can always tell when drumsticks or thighs are cooked when you can go into the meat and it just comes off the bone in the most beautiful way. So that's happening already. Take these lovely thighs and bathe them, submerge them in a wonderful barbecue sauce. Look at that glaze, that's what we want. This is my homemade barbecue sauce. If you want the recipe, click the link below and that's my recipe, but you can use any barbecue sauce you love and then put it back in the middle. So legs in, move it around, look at that. Now, what you don't want to do is put barbecue sauce, which nearly always, if always, has sugar in it, or honey, or maple syrup, or something like that, palm sugar. And you don't want to put that directly onto the bars because it will just burn. If you put it into a screaming hot oven, it will just burn. And unless you really watch it, it's going to give you trouble. So what I like to do is make sure none of these touch, right? I'm now going to put the lid back on top and it'll be about 120 degrees. So 5 or 10 minutes and you know when it's good. So that chicken has been in there for just under 10 minutes. And yeah, it'll carry on cooking a little bit, but really it's just enough heat. It's about like 140 degrees just to make that lovely barbecue sauce just sit onto it, make it nice and sticky. Have a little look at that. Oh, the smell. And the smell is amazing. So let's get the tongs and let's just place those beautiful thighs. They're so incredibly shiny. There you go. If you've got any spring onions or anything like that, you know, you can put those over the top, some herbs, a little bit of chili there. If you had any citrus, lime, lemon, stuff like that, you can just serve that as a nice little wedge on the back. Serve it with whatever you want, rice, flatbreads, you name it. But that, my friends, is beautiful barbecue chicken thighs and legs, cooked with beautiful spices and that gorgeous barbecue sauce glaze. It's a nice principle for always guaranteeing that you've got tender, delicious, juicy meat and that lovely, sweet, sticky glaze. Happy days. So summer's here and I'm going to do breakfast on the barbecue. Why? Because I love it. Because it's an excuse to get outside, cook some beautiful sausage and bacon in a different way. So look, I've got my Weber barbecue. Love this. Loyal servant. I'm going to show you how quick it is to light a barbecue. So I've got some briquettes. Get yourself some charcoal, you know, whatever you can get that's best. I've got a nice chimney starter. I've got some sustainable firelighters here that are not going to put any sort of horrible smells onto your cooking. So I'm going to put this onto our rack. I'm going to light it. And also, if you use one of these little chimney starters, just take it, fill it up, just sort of like 2/3 of the briquettes in there and sit this over. The bottom of the barbecue's got the air vent open, so there's airflow. About 10 to 12 minutes, we're going to have nice heat happening. Right, so that's going to do its thing. So let's get into the lovely world of making a kebab. Let's talk about skewers. Okay, these are my favorite ones here. I got these from Greece. These ones are made by a friend. These ones, they're not even skewers, they're for fondues, but I don't know how that got in there. Wooden ones, these are typical. And actually something that I think is really romantic is using natural things. So if you take this, obviously this is rosemary, but it could be bay. Anything that's got a nice stalk, just take it and then pull off the herbs. What you have here is a natural, beautiful skewer, and you can just simply sharpen this, and then you could put beautiful things on there, right? And you've got a natural sort of flavored skewer, and that might be easier for you to find. So let's do a little bit of both, but I do love that. So sausages, take a regular girthy sausage like this, and you can just give it a pinch, and with the pinch becomes a little twist, and you get a smaller sausage. You can get all kinds of different flavored sausages, but I personally, for breakfast, I don't like too much funk going on. Do you know what I mean? Like a nice Cumberland or a nice classic breakfast sausage feels like the thing that is good. But in the realms of like friends, I mean, it would be pretty classic to have tomatoes. There's some orange ones there, some red ones there, mushrooms. A little pedron fell in there. And then spring onions, shallots, onions, like whatever makes you happy. So let's kind of get into this. You do need, just as a thoughtfulness, you need a harmony of thinking that everything's going to cook at the same time. So obviously if I put that on the side, you know, it's quite big. So the logic would be, okay, well, control your destiny by slicing the mushrooms into quarters or slices that are going to cook in the right amount of time. Obviously if we had a massive tomato, that's probably not going to work. but these beautiful little cherries will. So the spring onions, I'm just going to cut into little 2-inch chunks. The nice thing about a kebab, of course, is instead of turning lots of different things, you turn one thing. We can build up a lovely little story. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a mushroom at the end. These, I think, might be quite robust. I'm now going to go in with the bacon and I'll thread it in so this butts up next to our mushroom in a beautiful way. Now here's a classic mistake, right? So I now want to put in a tomato, but I also want to wrap this bacon around it. It's impossible, right? So what you need to do when you're skewering is go to the tip so that then you can beautifully weave things around, right? And then you push it down bit by bit. So just go through like that. We'll wrap that around again. Can you see how beautiful this bacon is? A little pepper de pedron. The seeds, weirdly, are quite edible. So I'm going to go whole. What I might do is just trim off that little edge. So we've come to the end of the bacon story here. I'll then go in with another sausage. Then I'll go for the second piece of bacon. Then I kind of want to stick to the story. Okay, another mushroom vibe going on here. So wrap this around. You can see the common sense is that this is going to do very good things to the mushroom. Look at that. It's starting to look good, guys. On the sort of story of tomatoes, the tomatoes do blister and they sort of bust and they will put out juice. So look, I think we're kind of there. So this is the first one. I'm going to now go to the rosemary skewer. Now common sense will tell you this is a bit more delicate. It's not as robust as a piece of metal. Let's start again with a mushroom, going with the bacon. I love cooking outside. Conker, Conker, there's sausage around, come on man. Conker, sausage, sausage. So you're a bit late. Dude, when there's sausage around, normally you are like, so, look at those eyes. Tuned. So, okay, let's go back to sausage. So it is harder on the rosemary. It still works an absolute treat. You can look at that. I mean, it is a beautiful thing. And what you can do is just give it a little brush with some olive oil. Here's my rosemary that I took off. I'll do a really simple, like flavored oil. Just chop that up, some oil on here, like that, and just mix it up. We'll use the rosemary again as a brush and just pat this in and around. Back to the barbie. It's had about 12 or so minutes. What I'm going to do is pour the coals carefully, and you can use gloves if you want to be super safe. I like to pour them to one side. What I'm trying to achieve is a higher side of heat, which is more aggressive, obviously, because it's closer to the bars where you're going to cook. Then you've got nothing here. So very hot, medium, lower, nothing, right? So that gives you control. Let's get our bars. Let that just heat through for like a couple of minutes and that will sterilize the bars as well. So don't worry about that. You can give it a scrub if you want. And then I'm going to just try with one. It's always good to start with one first. I'm going to go in the middle and see how that goes. I'm going to put some greaseproof paper over the rosemary so I don't burn it. So let's put that on the barbecue. At this sort of point in the barbecue, like we're cooking straight away, I'm just feeling out the heat. As soon as the fat starts to render, it will start poof, poof, creating little smokes and little flames. We don't want to colour this kebab too quickly because it will be raw on the inside and cooked on the outside. So take your time. So it's getting quite hot now. So I'm going to use tongs. I'm clutching the whole thing and then I can turn the whole thing.
If you're enjoying this, then please click the like button and give us some love. And don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and remember to turn on that notification bell so you know what's happening. Now, back to the recipe.
I'm pretty happy with this now. It's looking kind of good. This one I'm kind of happy with. I'm just going to pull to the side. I want to make some scrambled eggs. So let's just push these over. Get a pan on. I love the idea of like grilling and frying or boiling. Like it makes sense. I love all this. This is good. By the way, the smells. If you wake up in a tent and you got that kicking off, you know, hungover, a bit miserable, and someone's gone to the trouble of making that. Come on. Cup of tea, ketchup, bit of brown sauce, bit of chili sauce maybe, a miserable little, you know, come and have a little go. So look, pan's heating up. Let's throw a knob of butter into the pan. I'm going to do 6 eggs here. So whisk up the eggs, salt, pepper. Let's go in with the eggs. You can use whatever bread you want. I'm actually going to just use a little tortilla. It's kind of nearly there now if you look. So I'll take it off the heat. I am going to put that to one side at a slight angle. Let's just do the final sizzle up on here. Look, it's looking good. Let's get some tortillas. I just kind of want to heat them through, so I'll just throw them over the top. So we're getting there. So let's put our lovely flatbread down. Let's get our gorgeous scrambled eggs in the story. Chili sauce, Tabasco, ketchup. It's just a thing. Brown sauce, it's one of the best sauces in the world. We're gonna go in with our beautiful sizzling kebab. Come on, look at that. That's mine right there. That's mine. And this one's Conker's, but you know, give or take. The idea actually that you can have something handheld is beautiful. You know, you can use that kebab to sort of wrap around it and pull it off, right? So you have that kind of whole thing going on. Let's put some sauce in. Beautiful breakfast kebab, made with love and care. You can take some nice edible flowers, some herbs if you want, just to dress this lovely little breakfast kebab together. Look at that. Right, which way to attack this? Okay, I'm gonna clutch it. That's good, man. From behalf of me and Conker, it's really good. And that's the thing about cooking on open fire. Even like the humble mushroom, it's delicious. So there you go, look, I'm super happy. Light up the barbecue. It's not just for dinner parties and having your mates around. Like, get that heat going. It's only ever 15 minutes away, right? And even if you just use it to do some lovely veggies as a side, or just the protein on the barbie and you do the other stuff in your kitchen, like honestly, even in Britain where it rains quite a lot, that is like a gift. Because it's not just a heat source, it's a flavor source. And that I like. I can't talk anymore because I'm gonna go for another big one. But until next time, lots of love. Go on, Conks, I love you.